headed off for our first official day in Kentucky.
See you soon.
I got my mom this Burberry bucket hat a couple years ago for Christmas, and now I very regularly steal it. So pro tip with your gifts. Of course, since we are in horse country, we had to go to the Kentucky Horse Park. This was so much more than what I thought it would be. I kind of thought it was more just walking around, arenas for where they do shows and things. I didn't realize that there were going to be so many horses on site and things that you can do. Maybe that sounds silly. I didn't do a lot of research beforehand. I just heard the name. They had different little movies playing that you could watch, get educated, learn new things. The foliage was so beautiful. I'm sorry, New England, but based off of at least the leaves that had already fallen, I feel like they may have gotten better foliage than New England got this year, which is crazy. It was a bit of an off year for New England. These little mini ponies, oh my God, to die for. We actually used to own miniature horses. I think I've mentioned that before, but need to do a video on them one day. And we have the big barn with all of these gorgeous, gorgeous working breed draft horses. It has been a goal of mine as a horse girl. I used to ride horses. I used to own my own horse and the mini horses. Like I said, I would love to rescue a horse one day and kind of do the more chill side of things. I used to show and compete and all of that. But I would love to rescue a retired draft horse and just enjoy them and love on them and groom them and let them live out their best lives. This guy here was being a little goofball. Of course, I had to go and stop at every single stall and say hi if they were up for saying hi, but I at least had to look at them, talk to them, and then if they were up for some pets or some scratches, do that. They had a little presentation on draft horses, and this guy learned some new things. Next up was the Hall of Champions, which is where a bunch of retired champions basically live for all different disciplines, all different types of showing, not just race horses. This horse, Western Dreamer, is the oldest horse on the property at 31 years old. But hey, I don't think he looks a day over 28. After the Hall of Champions, we went over to the breeds barn where they have a bunch of different breeds of horses. I guess the name says it all. Of course, my inner horse girl that had like every breed, every color memorized back in the day was loving this, quizzing myself actually, one of the little arenas. And we, at this point, were going a little bit quickly through because it was about to downpour. We knew it was a storm, but it downpoured. So we didn't get to see everything, unfortunately, but kind of wrapped it up, headed over to the gift shop. They had all of the fun holiday things out, and somehow we literally made it out just in time. Like we were stepping into the car as it started downpouring. This was such a beautiful drive to go visit with some very old dear family friends and catch up, and Georgia was happy to see us when we got back.
Today is wedding day, so time to transform this.
I actually forgot to finish the transition, but you get the idea. Today is wedding day, in case you can't tell. Got some free hotel breakfast to fuel me for the day before starting in on my makeup. Gotta go a bit more full glam for wedding day. But honestly, I was not feeling the best this day, just like achy and exhausted. I think it was the rainy, cold weather. But my friend did some sort of magic because this day was absolutely beautiful. The sun came out, it was bright and sunny, the absolute perfect day. Didn't film the ceremony itself, but it was at this beautiful vineyard. And then this was us at the little cocktail hour, filling our charcuterie cups. And after socializing a bit and enjoying those, we went to explore a little bit of the vineyard. They had a couple grapes even left over that were really cute. And then just a bunch of little clips from here, there, and everywhere of the reception. Everything was beautiful. This is my good friend from high school's wedding. We're actually on the cheer team together in high school. And I don't get to see her very often now that we live so far apart, but it was great to go see her and celebrate her on such a special day. And as I had mentioned, her and my mom were close, you know, friends from high school. We grew up in the same hometown, kind of knew of each other forever since we were super, super little, but then we got close in high school. So my mom was invited to the wedding as well, so I didn't have to be alone, and I made her sing and dance. I was like, we don't know too many people here, so we are bringing the fun to this wedding. I don't know if you'll meet two people that are more offbeat and not super good dancers, but we had a blast. That's all that matters. And Georgia acted like she was the one who was at a wedding all day. Flash forward to the next day, we are headed to the Lexington Humane Society to visit some of their adoptable dogs and to be able to share and promote. Rescue and dog things never stop. And this first dog, oh my goodness, stole my heart. 72 pounds, I believe, but on these teeny tiny itty bitty little legs. She was just ridiculous. So many cuties. As always, it's kind of an emotional thing to go see all of these dogs in kennels, but hoping to make a difference. And I rewarded myself with some fruit riot in between before we visited some more dogs at their PetSmart location. This little cutie was named Cornbread, and he was a little tripod. And then for dinner, we went to this place that was super cute. They had just started to decorate for the holidays, which I love. Just the atmosphere was super fun. Of course, everything is like equestrian, horses, and caught up with old friends that live here. Didn't really film the actual meal, but just a couple bits and pieces. Got some southern staples, some corn pudding, some shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes. These were all some things that I loved when I lived in Alabama for college. And then we got snow, which was crazy. I guess that this is how I fell asleep doing some work. My mom got that funny video and woke up to some Georgia snuggles. You are just being so cute today. Look at that little face. So probably never getting out of bed because Georgia's not always a cuddler and I need to soak in all of this. Went to take some content outside and then had to come back in to recover. So cold. Getting ready for our last day here in Kentucky. The weather has been a little bit all over the place, from super warm and sunny to a bit of snow. It was actually snowing earlier today, so hoping that doesn't affect our flights at all, getting out and getting back home. In the Kentucky spirit, we had thought about going to ride some horses today, but it's absolutely freezing. It's unbearable to even go outside to take the dog out. So unfortunately, we won't get to that, but we'll just have to make another trip. I think we're gonna just go grab some lunch and then hit the road early to start heading towards the airport to return the car and maybe just hang out there for a bit so that we have that part out of the way with the weather. I think that is pretty good. After a quick dance break, got all packed up. Georgia was not the most help during this, but we headed off. It did definitely get caught in a bit of a snowstorm. Was not expecting that, but we made it out. Great trip overall.